We'll talk more.
So we have exchange rates, chapter 41, exchange rates and their determination. So we scroll down. So when we talk about exchange rate, basically we're talking about the price of a country's currency in relation to the other currency. That means the price of the dinars, so the value of the dinars in relation to the dollars, to the pounds, the euros, and the rest.
Yeah.
So we scroll down. What is an exchange rate? Exchange rates are needed because different countries use different currencies. When trading with other countries, payment must usually be made in another currency. In getting started, okay, that's the story. So why do we have to talk about exchange rates? In as much as there's international trade, it means there will be different currencies among the world. So we need to reach a conclusion. We need to use currencies that we both agree upon. Then if we agreed on that currency, we also have to agree on the price at which the value of that currency will be in terms of exchange. Okay. So that is what foreign exchange rate will be about. So we go down. There's a case study, but we'll scroll down. Factors affecting the demand for a currency. Are you there?
Yes.
The demand for a particular currency on foreign exchange market is affected by a number of factors, which are one, interest rates. When we talk about the interest rate, we're talking about the price of a country's currency, right? The price of savings or borrowing. That is interest rate, right? So here they wrote, interest rates can affect the flows of money around the world. For example, if interest rates are higher in the UK than in other countries, foreign savers may choose to put their savings in the UK bank. That was the case of interest rate yesterday. The one I sent you as a case study. The Nigerian interest rate is increasing. So foreign savers would want to save in Nigeria to enjoy that. As a result, the demand for Nigerian currency, the naira, will increase. Do you get it? So that's the point they're making here. So, however, before doing this, they will have to buy pounds with their domestic currency. So, basically, one of the factors that affect the interest rate is the currency itself. So I can make. Well, like we said earlier, one of the factors that affects the demand for a currency is interest rate. And when we talk about interest rate, we're talking about the price of the country, the price of savings or borrowing. So how does interest rate affect the foreign exchange rate? If the interest rate increases, like they said, the interest rate can affect the flow of money around the world. For example, if the interest rates are higher in the UK than in other countries, so foreign savers will tend to come to the UK to save their money. So for them to do that, they have to exchange their own local currency into the pounds. So that was the case of the Nigerian currency for last month, the case study I sent to you. The interest rate increases in Nigeria. As a result, the value of the naira appreciates against other currencies because having an high interest rate means savers will be better off. So they have more. But before they could have more interest rate, before they could enjoy the interest rate, they have to buy more of the naira. So the demand for naira would increase as a result of an increase in interest rates. So an increase in interest rates in Nigeria makes the value of the naira increases. That means the demand for naira increases, and that would definitely appreciate the value of naira. Is it clear? So that's the case. Yeah. An increase in interest rates would mean that foreign savers would want to save in Nigeria. And for them to save in Nigeria, they need the Nigerian currency. So they have to exchange their own local currency with the Nigerian currency. So the demand for the Nigerian currency would rise. As a result, the value of the currency, the value of the value of the Nigerian naira will appreciate against other currencies. So that is the demand for the currency. So appreciating means that the value of the naira will rise against other currencies. Is the first one clear? That's interest rate. Foreign savers would find it, interesting and beneficial to them to save in Nigeria.
Benefit them in the future.
Yes, is it clear? Yes. So the second one is currency speculation. So for currency speculation, we're talking about for speculators. Let me read anyway. Speculators are firms, individuals, and financial institutions that buy and sell currencies in the hope of making a capital gain. Foreign exchange markets attract speculators because price of currencies sometimes vary dramatically. This means they buy a particular currency and hope to sell it for a higher price later on. For example, if speculators think the value of the pound is going to rise in the future, they will buy pounds. This will increase the demand for pounds and therefore help to drive up the exchange rate. So for speculators, who are these speculators? They have optimistic feelings. They are optimistic that whatever they invest on now will bring about profit in the future. That's who speculators are. So speculators in this aspect are currency speculators.
Mhm.
What they do is they, based on information they have or they gather, they buy in the view that in the future the price will rise and they'll be able to make capital gain. So these are speculators.
Yeah, they
So
basically have a drive for
they are,
profit and gaining it easily.
yeah, no, they have that drive to make profit
Yeah.
based on
Profit.
an optimistic value of what happens in the future. So they are optimistic that the price or the value would rise in the future.
Yeah.
So they are optimistic about it. So based on that fact, they buy now, to sell later on when the price increases in the future.
Yeah.
So it is about being optimistic about what happens in the future. Do you understand? So we call them speculators because they buy currency now with the hope of gaining it in the future, when they have to sell it or when they're about to sell. So as a result of that, because they have speculated that it has been speculated that prices will rise, the prices of maybe the dinars will rise in the future. So they are buying it now to be able to have a capital gain when they are selling it in the future. As a result of that, the demand for the dinars will increase. And that would appreciate the value of the dinars. Clear? That's for currency speculators. The third one, the demand for exports. Export represents selling to foreign customers, right or no? So here it says, firms that sell goods and services to foreigners expect to be paid in their own currency. For example, firms in the UK selling goods to Australian firms do not want to be paid in Australian dollar. Rather, they want to be paid in the pounds. As a result of that, foreign customers would have to buy the currency of the exporters. So that would increase the value of the currency.
For example, if we're gonna buy something.
If we are exporting now, like Libya is exporting oil. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So exporting oil means you want to be paid, the Libyan government wants to be paid in dinars. And for them to be paid in dinars, it means the foreign customers who wants to buy the Libyan oil have to change their dollar, their lira, whatever they have, to dinars. As a result of that, So as a result of that, the demand for dinars will increase, making the value of the dinars to appreciate. Is it clear? That's the demand for export. So an increase in the demand for export will appreciate the country's currency. Clear? That's the third one. So now we go to, that is for the demand. So now we talk about the supply of the currency. We go to the supply of the currency. When we talk about the supply of the currency, we're talking about how much more the currency is flowing in the market. So the factors that affect the supply of the currency on foreign exchange market are similar to those that affect the demand. You have to put in mind that when we talk about the foreign exchange itself, it's basically determined by the value is determined by the supply of and the demand of that currency. So we understand the demand now. The demand is about the interest rate, speculators, demand for exports. Now let's go to factors that affect the supply of the currency. One, the interest rate. So let's say if interest rates are higher in other countries, savers in the UK may decide to place their money in foreign banks. To do this, they must buy foreign currency. This will increase foreign currency. This will increase the flow of pounds into the foreign exchange market, which will increase supply and reduce the exchange rate. The opposite will happen if overseas interest rates are lower than the UK. So for the supply of the currency, if based on what they say, if interest rates are higher in other countries than the UK, so savers in the UK would have to, take their money out of the UK to save in countries that have high interest rates, because it's better than the interest rate in the UK. So what does that imply? It means more of the UK pounds would leave the market in exchange for foreign currencies. Do you get it?
Yes.
So that means the value of the UK pounds would fall. Do you get it? So if the supply of the country's currency increases, the value will drop. So the supply is increasing here because interest rates in other countries are higher than that of the UK. Is it clear? Currency speculators. Speculators can affect both the supply and demand for the currency. For example, if speculators believe that the price of the pound is going to fall, they will sell pounds in exchange for another currency. This will increase the supply of pounds in foreign exchange market and lower the exchange rate. So if there's speculation that the value of the pounds will drop, it means more pounds will be sold in the foreign exchange market because people do not want to lose. So as a result of that, they sell more of the pounds. So the pounds flows in the market. That reduces the value of the pounds. Is it clear? The third one, the demand for imports. Are you there? When we talk about imports, we're talking about buying from foreign customers, right? Good. So imported goods and services have to be bought with foreign currency. Therefore, if UK importers buy more foreign goods and services, they will have to buy foreign currency with pounds. The flow of pounds out onto the foreign exchange market provided by importers increases supply. As a result of that, the value of the currency, the UK pounds, will fall. That's one. So outward foreign direct investment, FDI, can also affect the supply of currency. For example, if UK MNCs develop business interests abroad, such as building a new supermarket, there will be an increase in the supply of pounds in the foreign exchange market. This is because the multinationals will have to pay for the investment in foreign currency. So that means they have to buy these with pounds, and therefore more pounds flow into the market. So for FDIs, that's outward now, outward direct investment. So if multinationals in the UK felt that they need to invest further in other countries, they have to use the pounds to buy more of the other country's currency. As a result of that, more of pounds will go into the foreign exchange market. That will reduce the value of the currency. Clear? And for importation, if importation continues to increase, for example, let's use Libya as an example. If importation increases in Libya, that means the demand for importation increases in Libya. It means more Libyan dinars would need to buy less of currency, less of the dollars, because you cannot pay with the Libyan dinars. You have to pay in the country's currency. So that means more Libyan dinars will go into the foreign exchange. As a result of that, the value of the dinars will drop. Is it clear? So we go to how exchange rates are determined. Are you there? So the determination of the exchange rate is based on, I'm just going to explain this. The determination of the exchange rate is based on the demand for and the supply of the currency. Clear? So that's it here, the demand for and supply, which is just what you have to put in mind.
Equilibrium.
Yeah, it's always going to be at equilibrium. So, and the equilibrium is where the demand and the supply meets, the point at which they meet. Yes.
And then there's, yeah.
I think that one is clear, right? It's just about the demand for and the supply of will determine the price at which the exchange rate goes. Go down. The effect of changes in supply and demand on exchange rates. Are you there? Changes in supply. If there's a change in the supply or demand for a currency, there's likely to be a change in the exchange rate. The market for currency is no different from any other market. For example, what will happen if there's an increase in the supply of pounds? If there's an increase in the supply of pounds, an increase in supply of pounds will resulting from importers buying foreign currency with pounds is shown as by a shift from S1 to S2. This reduces the exchange rate from ER1 to ER2. That is, the value of the pounds will fall. A fall in demand for imports would have the opposite effect. I explained that already, and I'm going to explain it using this graph. We already know that when we talk about the foreign exchange rate, it's determined by the supply and the demand of the exchange rates or in the market. So it's just the same as goods and services, demand for and supply. So it's always the market forces of demand and supply that determines the exchange rate, goods and the price of goods and services too. So for the exchange rate, the main example of the UK pounds. They said they said an increase in the supply of pounds resulting an increase in the price of said an increase in the supply of pounds resulting from importers buying foreign currency with pounds will shift the supply from S1 to S2. That means there's an increase in supply from S1 to S2. Why is there an increase in supply from S1 to S2? It's as a result of the quantity of pound of importation increases from Q1 to Q2. So that would definitely increase the price. Do you understand? So here they said an increase in in imports from Q1 to Q2 will definitely increase the quantity supply of pounds in the market from S1 to S2. That means the value of the pounds would fall from R1, ER1 to ER2. Do you get it, or I explain again? An increase in importation would increase the quantity of importation, bringing the quantity of supply of the pounds or the dinars to supply increases in the market, in the foreign exchange market from S1 to S2, whereby increasing the value or depreciating the value of the currency from ER1 to ER2. So this goes to the same, this goes to the dinars too. If importation increases in Libya, more of dinars will go into the foreign exchange market, reducing the value of the dinars and increasing the supply of dinars in the market from S1 to S2. The value of dinars will fall from LD1 to LD2. Is it clear? Changes, that's for supply. Now we go to change in demand. So if demand for UK export rises, so now for demand, we're going to talk about exports. If demand for export increases, now they're using UK, let me use Libya as an example. When demand for export, the Libyan export increases. That means we need more of the Libyan dinars. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That would increase the demand for Libyan goods to increase from D1 to D2. As a result of that, the quantity demanded will increase for export from Q1 to Q2, bringing the value of the Libyan dinars to appreciate from LD1 to LD2. Is it clear? An increase in imports reduces the value of the currency. An increase in exports increases the value of the currency. Clear? So go to the multiple choice question. Which of the following factors would affect the demand for a currency?
The demand for imports, not demand for export.
Demand for export, yes.
Okay.
They now do. So the first one I say, which of the following factors would affect the demand for a currency? The demand for a currency could be based on interest rates, speculators, the demand for exports. So level of unemployment cannot determine exchange rate. Unemployment is macroeconomic objective and it can be amended through supply side policy. So it's not there. And when we talk about foreign exchange, it's a monetary policy. Clear. The price of imports will determine the supply of the currency, not demand for the currency. So it is not B, it is not A, because A is supply side policy. It is not B. Despite the fact that B is part of the monetary policy, but because the price of imports is a factor that determines the supply of the currency, not demand for the currency. Clear? Then the third one, the demand for imports. So the demand for imports is also a factor that will affect the supply of the currency, not the demand for the currency. So, and the last one is demand for exports, which talks about how much more we need our country's currency. They need our currency. So that will determine the demand, because it means foreign currencies will go in more into our foreign exchange. As a result, the value of our own currency would appreciate against theirs, because our currency is much needed now. And they only need our currency if they are about to buy our product. And that means if they are about to buy our exports. Okay. So the answer is D. Question 2. Speculators can have an effect on the exchange rates. Which of the following statements about speculators is true?
Is it D? If speculators believe that the price of the currency is going to fall, they will sell the currency.
Correct. It's D. That's speculators for you. Now, speculators can can have an effect on the exchange rate. Which of the following statements about speculators is true? The answer was right, B. But let's go through the options we have. For A, speculators will only sell foreign currency. No, they buy and sell. They buy and what? They sell. They buy when they have if there's optimism that the future prices will rise to have capital gain, and they sell when they are pessimistic about the future When they are optimistic about the future, they buy. When they are pessimistic, yeah, yes. When they are pessimistic about the future, they sell. So they both buy and sell. So A is not an answer. Circulators help to stabilize currencies. No, they don't stabilize. The stabilization of currency is done with the central bank, with the help of the government. The government through the help of the central bank. So it's not their duty. The third one, speculation in foreign currency is illegal in most countries. No. It's part of what happens. It's part of the economy. So speculation it's legal because it's
in every country.
It's speculation. So it's about information.
Yeah.
How much more you have access to information that will talk about speculation. Any question about that? So that ends chapter 41. For the exchange rates and its determination, which is determined by the demand for and the supply of the currency. Thank you. We'll go to chapter 42 after this.
I'm not hungry.
No, I'm fine. Thanks.